You know what's interesting? All problems are the same problem. We tend to think that life is complicated, that every single individual has their own set of problems. Everyone is going through things that only they can really understand, and no one else is really able to relate to these things. It's this very intricate cocktail of their past and their ambitions and their desires and their emotions and their thoughts, all of it melting together into this very intricate little entity uh, called the mind. But we all share that mind. So what kind of commonalities are there, and what can we extrapolate from knowing that everyone is essentially dealing with mental problems? Have you ever had a problem that wasn't mental? Do you have a problem that isn't mental? And how do you know? Because it's the mind telling you that you have a problem. It's the mental commentary that we usually associate with problems in the first place. Physical problems don't exist on their own. They only exist in a combination of physical and mental commentary, or emotional pain and mental commentary. But what if the mental commentary wasn't there, right? That's just a thought experiment. That is not going to liberate you from your pain, I know, but it's a very interesting thought experiment, because sometimes it's enough to realize that, okay, it's just a mental commentary. It's not the actual sensation that I'm troubled with. It's just the fact that my mind is racing right now. So life is really simple when you look at it that way. If you just realize that all problems are mental, you can just let go and things become so much easier. You just have to exist. It's so beautiful. You just have to exist. I saw this video, I think it's called Just Exist, Bro. And it's just this kid talking about the fact that you just have to exist and that's it. And it's such a beautiful message. Those are the videos that inspire me to make videos. It's not all those science videos and, retention rate and all that. I don't care too much about that. For me, it's people who convey that consciousness that goes, into the being dimension, or comes from the being dimension. That is what has my curiosity the most. Obviously learning is important. Using the mental faculty of your brain is important. And sometimes we forget when we get into the meditation journey. We forget to use the mind as well. We forget to develop personality and stuff like that, because we become swallowed up by the present moment. But what's worse is when the opposite happens, when we get too caught up in the personality, too caught up in the mental exercises, and we forget who we are. Because we are not those mental projections. We are not those personalities. When everything is said and done, when we are done with the day, it's important that we retreat into the stillness, into the present moment. We do that when we sleep. When we sleep, we go into, as Eckhart Tolle calls it, the unmanifested realm. And this is where we recharge ourselves, supposedly. We merge back with the source, and we gain some new energy, maybe some new wisdom. I'm not sure what exactly is happening when we sleep in that dreamless sleep. But then we come back to life and we feel refreshed. And we absolutely have to go through this process of experiencing dreamless sleep. But we can experience a similar recharge in our waking state as well. In fact, when we are troubled, it's our go-to mechanism, right? I mean, at least it is for me. Whenever I'm troubled by my own mind, whenever it's racing, or I have some emotional turmoil, or just whatever, just let's just say life doesn't go the way you want it to go. When that happens, what I do is I retreat into that dimension of beingness, and it's a nice place to be. I wouldn't talk about this if it wasn't a nice place to be. I'm making these videos, and when I'm making these videos, it's like no one is watching them. I know no one cares, but I know that this is important. Okay, I know that this is like the all that mental stuff. You can, it is good. You can. But it's not going to save you. It's not going to save you all that mental, developing your personality and training your brain and stuff like that. I think that's cool. I think there should be a place for that. And sometimes I do make content where I talk about, science stuff and things of this world. And then there are times when I just want to communicate the message of being. And then you might hear a lot of different words come out of my mouth, and like I'm speaking about this, and it's a topic, but there is no topic. It's really just an attempt from my side to convey the message of being, to give you that feeling. My dream is for someone out there to realize that it's enough for them to just exist. And it always was enough, and it always will be enough. Right? The whole and complete, right now in this moment, just let go. It doesn't matter if you're feeling bad. It doesn't matter if the mind is going crazy. You can still feel whole and complete. You can just let go. And when you do let go, when you do say, whatever, I'm just going to ride the wave. I'm going to ride the wave of life, and just let go. You're literally just letting go. When you do that, the problems dissolve. Yeah, you let go of the resistance. You let go of the tension. You essentially free yourself by letting go. So it has a double effect. You reside in the beingness by doing it. You feel extremely good doing it, but you're also actually solving the problem that kept you stuck in that loop. So, and to understand this message does not require that you necessarily figure it out word for word, that you grasp the concept, that you answer the question. No, it's an inner realization that you have to just acknowledge that you exist right now, that you are consciousness perceiving the different experiences of this life, that you experience pleasure, you experience pain and success and failure, and you're just a witness to all of it. Just like watching a movie, you don't have to get attached, you don't have to become emotionally involved in any of this. You can just lean back and relax and let it all unfold. And if you are in a fortunate position where you can explore different creative outlets, you can start creating something in this world that is connected to that dimension, meaning that you can essentially do something profitable in this world while being in this state and training yourself in this state, which I think is beautiful. There's no restrictions. People say like there shouldn't be a paywall on spirituality. Well, how could there be a paywall on spirituality? It's like saying that you're putting a paywall on existence. It's not possible, right? Try putting a paywall on existence. It's something that goes beyond this three-dimensional space. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be created. It always was here. It always will be here. And you can tap right into it. it's free, it's available, it's who you are. And all that it sounds a little bit like too much. It's like, oh, what is all this? It's just let me just put it back to earth right now. It's just that you exist right now, and that you experience different things. That's all you kind of have to realize, to have that realization of inner peace, of feeling really good, and then you're recharging yourself. Just like when you go into that unmanifested state in your dreamless sleep, you're also recharging yourself in your waking state when you do this. Creativity, I believe, comes when you are in your conscious being state. It doesn't come when we are thinking, it comes when we are in that beingness. That's when we are recharged with mana, with that creative fuel. And then when we return to thinking about things, then we can use that mana to create ideas. But the real work is being made in that emptiness. When the mind is going, well, this is boring, or nothing is going on, or this is just stillness, this is quiet, or you're just looking at the trees, or looking at empty space, or listening to the traffic, something that is totally mundane, but this serves a super important purpose because it recharges that little fuel tank of creativity, as well as wisdom, as well as insights, as well as everything else you need to exist in this world successfully. So you absolutely need a sort of a coexistence of beingness and doingness at the same time. You need to be able to switch between the two modalities, both for your mental health sake, but also so you can become the best version of yourself. Because if you're just thinking all the time, if you're just doing all the time, your mental health is gonna suffer, your physical health is gonna suffer, and you're gonna just be very frustrated and trapped in a lot of emotional loops. Without knowing how to get out. And then you might resort to alcohol, you might try to numb yourself, you might try to sleep it away, or run, you go for a run, and you try to force your way into your body just so you can escape the mind. But that's not the proper way of doing it. The proper way is to just realize that you are not the wave, you are the surfer riding the wave. The good things, the bad things, all of it, you're just a witness to it all. At any moment, you are free to just take a step back and just become a witness to everything that is going on. And just chill out, and just have a good time. Even when you're on the surface having a bad time, even through the emotional turmoil. Yeah, that was a lot of talking, and or maybe not enough. I don't know.